Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And surprise, surprise, surprise. I think I've dated myself with that expression. I don't generally come to you anytime but my usual Thursdays, but I couldn't wait any longer to bring you this video. It is not going to be a long video. You can probably see that already. But I have been planning this for close to a month. I have decided to once again offer some mystery bags, and I'm going to show you what kind of things you're going to get in these mystery bags. And normally I would bring this information to you on a regular video, but as you know, we're in the middle of learning to read crochet charts, and that is taking a fair bit of time and not leaving me a lot of time on my videos. So it would be another several weeks before I could insert this, and I just didn't want to wait. I wanted to get this going now. I am quite excited to show you these mystery bags because there is a lot of good yarn going out in these mystery bags. So first I'm going to show you examples of what's going in the mystery bags, and then I'll give you the details on the bag itself. So there is a wide variety of yarn. For example, I'm going to be bending over a lot and stretching. For example, I have some Picasso from Ice Yarns, and I have, I don't know, 2-3 bags of this. And there is a fair bit of baby yarn. Here's a bunch of it right here. These are 3 weights. And here's some other baby yarn. I have some cakes, and these are kind of like fleece. I made some beautiful loveys with these cakes, and I have one that's pink and one that's blue, and this band needs to get taped together, although it doesn't seem to fit. Anyhow, things like this. I also have some cakes from Stenley. Here's one or two right now. I have a couple more there on the table. These are muffins, and they are a fingering weight. And I believe there are 2,000 meters. So you could make an extremely good size item, or if you're into shawls, you could almost separate these into 2 and make a couple of shawls with them. Then we have some of your standard items. I have, I think I have more than one color of this. This is a bag of 3. I would send the 3 together. Excuse me, Super Saver stripes. So there's big box store things, as well as hand-dyed yarn, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Then I have some of, I would consider this to be like, well, maybe not a sock yarn because it's sparkle, although some might use it that way. I would consider this to be a 2/8, and there are 282 meters, so that's over 300 yards. And again, I would put these 3 balls together. Some other yarns that you are quite familiar with, things like Coffee Shop. I don't know how many of these I have. Sometimes I have only 1, and sometimes I have 2 or 3. This has 284 yards, so definitely enough to make a scarf or a hat, mitts, something like that. And this is similar to it, but a different brand. Some of you may not be familiar with it. Himalaya Mona. I think there's more than one of this, but I won't swear to it. And again, it's I don't know. Oh, 284 yards again, at least a scarf and something. A little more, some of you that make amigurumi may enjoy getting something like this. This is Nap Time Siesta from Lion Brand, so it is the chenille. I have another one back here. Again, I bought them to make my loveys, and I'm about done with loveys. So there are a couple of different skeins. These are full skeins of these. And how much do they have? Oh, they have 735 yards in it, quite a bit. That would go far in some loveys, or some, yeah, loveys, but also in amigurumi. Then I have hand-dyed yarn. You're going to see this twice. I have some that is worsted weight. These two would go together. But I also have, and these are caked up, but I have some that aren't caked up. This one is a fairly new one I got. And there's another one. And another one. And here's one. Also, I have, this is a little different. I got it from a store in Canada, I forget where, and it's called Make It Tweed. Now, I got 4 of them, and I'll probably only keep 1, maybe 2. They have 475 meters in them, and they are a single thin strand. I can't find a strand to pull out, so I'll just have to go in there. They're very, very thin, and you add them to something and you see the little flecks on it. It makes what you're using into tweed. Now, this is multicolored. You could put it with white or black or brown or navy. You could put it with other colors too, but it would give a nice multicolored rainbow tweed effect to your plain yarn. And I have a couple of those that I'll be giving away. Then here is something from Lion Brand. I had quite a bit of this with the intention of making a sweater, and not going to make a sweater. It's heavier than I like. It is a number 5, and Boogie Nights. Some of you may be familiar with it. I don't know if Lion Brand still carries this, but somebody will get 5 skeins of this in one package. A nice neutral. It's white with silver in it. Then I have another hand-dyed cake. This is not a full cake. I used a bit of it. You'll see in Thursday's video that I needed a little bit of this to finish a project. So that's a hand-dyed. And again, I had sweater quantities of this yarn. This comes from Tesseland, and they don't put a number on it, but I'm going to say between, I think it's a 3 weight, a light 3 weight, and somebody will, 150 meters, somebody will get 5 of these in their package. Then going back to Stenley, and another one of those muffin cakes. And here's another Stenley. It's called Candy Opal, and it is, well, it's all, oh, here it is. 85% soft cotton and 15% Lurex. You can see the Lurex in that. 900 meters. So, again, between a finger and a sport weight, I would make a lovely, lovely shawl. Then I also have some of the yarn art cakes. I have been giving them the cotton or cotton acrylic ones. I've been giving them in the prizes for the monthly make-along. I don't have any of the cotton acrylics here in my hand, but I do have several of those that will be given away. But I also have some of the other yarn art cakes. Some are alpaca. I have, I don't know, 2 or 3 alpaca. And I also have some that are merino. So they are more like a 4-weight. And then I have, this is a cairn cake. It's a blossom cake. I had one of these left over from a project, and there's a fair bit in one of these, 481 yards, so enough to do something for sure with that. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, I have to tell you. I have a humongous box and then some other smaller boxes down the basement full of these things. There are more of the cotton cakes. There are more of, well, just odds and ends cakes. There are quite a bit more of hand-dyed yarn. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm only doing one size this time. And I have this bag. Some of you received a small one. A bag that I had made for sending out my gifts and my prizes. And this is a good sized bag. And I'm going to show you just how much this bag holds. I'm going to put it all on the table and then show you as I load up the bag. You will get a mixture of hand-dyed yarn and non-hand-dyed yarn, big box stores, that kind of thing. So this bag, it holds, here's one of the cotton cakes that I have been giving out. Now you won't get this exact bag, you won't get these exact yarns, but this will show you what you do get. So here is one of the, this one is not a yarn art. This one is a twister from Hobbii, so you know they're a little more expensive. Then there are 2 matching cakes from Coffee Shop. That goes in here. And I know how to pack. Then there are the 5 boogie nights from Lion Brand. So I'll put that in there with the 2 of these. Then there are 2 hand-dyed yarns. Now this one happens to be at least a DK. It might even be a worsted weight. I'm not taking, it doesn't have a card. This one has a card, and this one is fingering weight. Then I have 2 skeins of Willow Verbena. This is a thinner weight. Doesn't have a number on it, but it's wool and nylon. I would say this might make a good sock. And I have 2 of them, and they have how many yards, so you'd know what you could make with it. Don't say, not that I'm seeing. They fit in here. And I still have a little more space in the top. I have to be able to close it and seal it, but I'm pretty sure I could make a few minis fit in here. So I have pickle jar minis, and I have some other minis that I've collected along the way. That's 5 minis. I could maybe even get another mini or shift things around to get another small ball of yarn. But I could seal this without a problem. And that's the bag you're going to get. I'm sure I could get another ball of something. I might be able to get a hank of hand-dyed yarn in there. Let's just see. Yes, I can get a hank of hand-dyed yarn in there. There. So every bag will not be the same, but these are the bags that I am going to sell is the mystery bags. And I had a long time trying to debate whether they should be $50 bags or $60 bags. I would say there's definitely, wow, there's 3 hanks of hand-dyed yarn. Hand-dyed yarn is between $30 and $40 here in Canada. So that right away would put it up around 100 and then more. So I would have to say, even if you don't get 3 hand-dyed yarns, you're likely going to get 2, which would take it up to $60 to $70 before anything else is put in there. So I decided, because the shipping, I don't want to worry about where it's going and figuring out individual shipping. I'm just going to go at $20. Usually the shipping is a little less or a little more depending on where it's going. I haven't actually shipped one of these large ones. I'm sure a number of them will be $25 to ship here in Canada. It's more in Canada than it is in the US, if you can believe that. So I've decided that $75 for the yarn and the shipping all in one is what I'm going to charge for these mystery bags. Now, I'm sure I have enough yarn down there to easily fill maybe a dozen bags of this. So what you need to do after you see this video is to send me an email at judyscreations21@gmail.com. That's always in my description box. If I can, I'll put it on the screen. And then we will talk about where it's going and how to transfer the money. Last time I did this, I gave you lots of leeway to tell me your preferences. The only thing I can say is I don't have a way to make an entire bag not have wool. I mean, yes, I have things without wool, and I do have a fair bit of acrylic. If it's absolutely, you can't handle any wool at all, I guess you could let me know and I'll see if I can make you a bag. But the chances are slim that you will get the same value, because almost all my hand-dyed yarn, which has the value in it, has merino in it, so there's wool. The only thing you can tell me is this: do you have a preference for fingering or worsted? Now, there's going to be both. There's going to be all weights. You even saw some 5 weight. There's going to be both. But when it comes to the hand-dyed or to the cakes, and I mean the like yarn art cakes, if you really like worsted, I can get one of these in. If you want hand-dyed worsted, I can put worsted instead of fingering. Otherwise, I have a lot more fingering, and I'm likely to put fingering in the bag. And you can tell me if you prefer fingering or if you prefer worsted. But that's about it. You will get both weights in the bag, one way or the other, from 2 weights all the way up to 5. That's a real mixture. But like I said, when it comes to hand-dyed, I will try, or the cakes, these cakes, I will try to give you your preference. No guarantee. Every bag will be different. That bag is not the bag you're all going to get. I just wanted to show you how much I can get in one of these bags. And likely I'm going to fill up small spaces with some mini skeins, but then there may be one bag that gets no mini skeins. There's no guarantee about anything. I just wanted to show you that you're definitely getting your money's worth, and you're getting good quality yarns in these bags. So I hope that's something that some of you would like to get. And I look forward to seeing how many of you are interested. And now I have to go. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you again on our regular scheduled Thursday. And until then, happy hooking.